freaking video today. Well, first of all, if you're new here, hey babe, my name's Cayla. Go ahead and subscribe. Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing right now and subscribe to the channel. Point blank period. Anyways, from the title and from the thumbnail, you can see it's gonna be a kind of a long-awaited video. People be asking me,
how do you do your makeup? How do you look so cute? Your makeup so cute, your skin so nice, da 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 da.
well, I got the videos coming for y'all. So I'm doing what you asked, so just go ahead and subscribe. I mean, what are you waiting for? But anyways, today is gonna be a super detailed makeup routine, my updated makeup routine. Nowadays a girl really be going barefaced. I mean, I know it's hard to believe. I mean, look at the skin, but you know what I'm saying, where we want to look beat for the gods, period. Or like, you know, sometimes we be having some blemishes, because sometimes I do, and I be wanting to do some makeup just to like cover my skin. But this is gonna be a updated makeup routine, what I be doing every day or when I go to the club. Nothing too much, just like a really easy, simple go-to makeup routine. Okay, y'all, so for me, I know that it's always that debate of what do you do face, your foundation, your eyes, or your brows first. Some people be doing foundation, but it ain't for me, babe. I'm doing my brows first every time, point blank period. I'm doing my brows first. So to start off my brows, I go for a very minimal brow look, just because my brows are already very defined, very like fluffy. I don't really have thin brows, so I usually just go with my base brows, but I do add a little bit to it. I go in with the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. This is their brow gel that makes your eyes, it gives it that laminated effect. So if you like your brows to look laminated and you don't want to get them laminated, babe, this is what you do. So I do this to my brows. I just put a coat on my brows, and well, let me just let y'all see what I do. Okay, y'all, I don't know if it's blurry or not, but I'm just showing y'all what to do with my brows. So I'm going to take a little bit of the brow gel, and I'm just going to like comb up in my brows and try to like get them to stand up a little bit, because I really like that effect on my brows. So I'm just going to comb up and push down in the direction that I like, but I'm going to push them down a little bit. And that's how I want my brows to look. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And yeah, I'll come back whenever I finish. Okay, y'all. So now that my brows are laminated for the gods, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia, my ABH Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil in the color medium brown. I've been using this for a long time. This is definitely my holy grail. If I'm not using the brow pencil, I am using the dip brow, but I don't really use a dip brow unless I'm like going to the club or something like that, because I don't really like that much of a defined brow. I just, like I said, go in with my brow pencil, and I'm going to show y'all very little how I fill in my brows, because like I said, I feel like my brows are already filled in. So at the base of my brows, what I'm going to do is kind of go in and fill in the little scarce spaces in my brows. I don't really go to the front that much, because I'm going to like that ombre effect. I'm just kind of going to go in and define my brows a little bit at the bottom, and then I pretty much already have a defined tail, but I'm just going to go in a little bit at the tail and add some strokes there as well. I don't really add anything to the top, because I kind of like that free, like laminated look, like I said at the top. I keep saying, but you get the gist. So that's pretty much all I do for my brows. That's literally it. And I'm gonna go in and do the same thing to the other side, just like so. And that's pretty much all I do for my brows, y'all. Super easy, super quick, you know what I'm saying. This is how we do the brows. So next, I'm gonna zoom back out, and well, I guess I'll just leave y'all zoomed in right now while we do the brows, because I mean, I'm gonna have to keep zooming back in. Whenever I do this look, I do not conceal on top of my brows. I only do the bottom. So what I'm gonna use is the Shape Tape by Tarte. You know, this is also holy grail. This has been in for a long time, and baby, we all know we're gonna, like, you know, venture off from our holy grail, but we always gonna come back. We want that good popping look where we know it's gonna look good. We're gonna use the Shape Tape. So I'm using the color 36S, the medium tan sand, which is really good for my skin tone. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this angled brush by BH Cosmetics. Super raggedy. But like I said, I don't get rid of my holy grails, babe, because I love her. I'm not gonna. She did her due diligence. I'm gonna keep her till she breaks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit. I'm just gonna honestly open the brush and just put a little bit of concealer on the brush. Like, you don't really need a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go under my brow and just kind of like carve out the, you know, angle that I want for my brows. I feel like whenever I lift my brow like this, I feel like it really helps me get the best angle for my brows. And then on my mirror, I zoom in all the way because that way I can get a straight line for my arch in my brow. So what I'm gonna do after that is like just bring the concealer down because we're gonna want that nice edge. So now that I have the curve for my brows, I'm gonna do it on the other side, and I'm gonna come back on camera because you seen how I do this side, so we're gonna do the other side and come back. Okay, y'all, so now that I have done it to both sides, this is how it looks, and I brought the concealer down. So I'm just gonna kind of like blend it into my skin because once this dries, it's gonna be kind of hard to blend. So I'm just gonna kind of blend it into my brow now. But don't go too high because when you blend too high up, it's like gonna kind of take away the sharpness of the brow. This brush is the Morphe M173 brush. It's kind of just like a buffing brush, I feel like. And I just use that and I just like literally blend into my brows. So that's how I get that good tail in the end, and it still looks very natural but still very defined. I know y'all looking right here, but at the end of the makeup, we're gonna put her together, okay? So I'm gonna zoom back out now that the brows are done, and we're gonna keep going with the makeup. So after we've already done the brows, it's now time for the face. So usually I kind of switch between two different primers, but I'm just going to show y'all the one that I use the most. Well, first of all, I'll show y'all both of the primers that I really use and recommend. That way you can try them both and, you know, decide which one is your favorite. But I really love the Tatcha primer. This is the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas primer. It really does give me a very silk canvas. The next one I use is the All Nighter face primer. This one is by Urban Decay. It's the Long Wear Foundation Grip, Prep, Smooths, and Perfects. I really like them both, but I really find myself using the Tatcha more, so we're just going to go ahead and go with that. I'll just put like maybe like 2 pumps on my face because a little bit does go a long way. So this was actually 1 pump, so I'll usually just go like this, and I'll put some here on my cheeks on both sides. And then honestly, y'all, I usually shave my face, not gonna lie. I usually shave my face, and I feel like that's when I get a super slick canvas on my face. But I did not do that last night in preparation for this video, but it's still gonna give off, you know, what needs to be gave. So I'm just gonna go in and rub it all the way around in my skin, you know. And look how that like gives me just that like instant blur effect. But to even give me that more of a blur effect before I put on any face, my face looks red. I think it's just because I like rub my face. My face is very sensitive. I usually go in with my Laura Mercier powder in the color Translucent, and I'll just put that, you'll see, in some areas on my skin just to give it that even more blurred effect. I'll just take a little bit on my sponge. This is the concealer. I forgot. It's the Camo Concealer Sponge. Aaliyah J put me onto this Camo Concealer Sponge. I have multiple, and I'll show y'all different ones that I use. This is just a clean one. I just take a little bit and I'll put it in the creases of my face. That way when it's time to put on foundation and concealer, it'll like, you know, just glide on. I really recommend you do this before putting on your foundation, especially if you kind of have like oily skin. I don't have super oily skin, but my skin over like a few hours will get very oily, and I feel like this does combat with my skin getting oily and end up creasing under the eyes and like around this area. So now that that is done, I don't really have that many blemishes, as you can see, but if I did have blemishes, I would go in with either the Tarte or Pat McGrath. So these are my two holy grail concealers, okay? Not necessarily these colors, but these, both of these brands are my holy grail. I really love Pat McGrath. Got introduced by Leah Face. She, like, this is amazing. And then Tarte, you know, it's just a holy grail. If I have blemishes, I will go in with the Pat McGrath. Say I go with the Pat McGrath, and then I'll just go in and like put it on the blemishes and just let it sit before I put on my foundation, just to give it some extra coverage so it won't seep, my blemishes won't seep through my foundation. So that's what I do. But since, like I said, we were blessed today to not have any blemishes, we don't have to do that step. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all my foundation that I use and how we're going to start putting that on. Of course, Fenty foundation, but these are in my lighter shades. Like I said, I kind of have like a slight tan, so I'm not going to be able to use this color today, but I do have two foundations from Fenty that I use that whenever I'm a little bit lighter. I really recommend these. These are the Soft Matte Longwear Foundation Pro Filters. I usually in between 300 and 290. So sometimes I'll mix those, but since I'm a little bit on the tanner side, well, my kind of a new holy grail, it's the Born This Way matte foundation. I forgot what the other one is named, but this is like the newer foundation that they come out with, the matte one. So I have two colors. I have Warm Sand and Warm Beige. I'm going to be mixing the two colors because this is my tan shade, this is my like not tan shade, so we're going to mix them and get the perfect shade. Okay, so the sponge is wet and ready. Like I said, I'm just gonna kind of go in with the foundation, squeeze it on my face. I usually just do like 1 or 2 pumps depending on how much coverage I want of the first color. I usually don't put any on my forehead because I'll take the last little bit and put it on my forehead, put a little bit on my chin, and then since I put 2 pumps of each, I'll put 1 pump of the lighter color in between, like that, and then we're gonna start working. I really like using a sponge. This is kind of a new sponge. I used to use this sponge from Real Techniques, and I'll still use it sometimes, but I've really been feeling this sponge. I don't even know where I got it from. I think it may be Real Techniques. I'm gonna look it up and I'll put it in the description box. And all the products used will be put in the description box as well. But I really like this foundation. Especially when I mix it, it gives me the perfect shade. As you can see, it definitely looks like skin. I really love the matte foundation because it kind of helps. Like I said, sometimes I have oily skin, and I mean, why would you put an oily foundation on top of oily skin and then it's just going to be looking like grease, okay? So I just try to do everything I can to combat me getting the oily skin. I'm just going to kind of like beat that in, you know what I'm saying? It looks super good. I'm just gonna go in and put the last little bit on my forehead. I sometimes may have to add some, so I probably am gonna go and add a little pump or 2 on my forehead just to like make sure it all blends, because I can kind of tell. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna add 1 tiny little pump because like we be looking like we have 5 heads, but when it comes to makeup, like I know I'm not the only one. It be seeming like I have a 5 head, and then when it comes to like putting on makeup on my forehead, it literally be like a whole pool of makeup. So just gonna go in and put a little bit on my forehead to match, and it's already looking so good. But you see what I'm saying? You see how it's starting to come out looking like on my forehead, like a lot. So kind of, especially since I have braids, you want to make sure you put it into your hairline. That way it doesn't just give off that shadow effect. Just definitely, you know, put a little bit everywhere. Okay, sorry, I'm looking in my mirror to make sure. So everything's looking really good. Everything's looking very much bronze, very much covered. So now that our foundation is done, we're gonna hop in and hurry to our concealer. So like I said, I have 2 Holy Grail concealers. I use the Pat McGrath in the color LM14, and I also use the medium Santan shade of my concealer. I don't want to go in with two super lights, so I go with a light, a really light, and then like a medium light color on our, whenever we would do our concealer, we used to put that triangle, but that really brings our face down. So what I usually do is I just put some concealer here, like right under my eye, and then I put some up because I'm gonna like bring up my cheekbones, you know what I'm saying? So I put a little bit by my nose, you know, to kind of contour the nose, under the eye like that, and then up. So I'm gonna let that sit, and then I also put some on my chin, and then like I said, with the darker color, honestly I really want to go home with the Pat McGrath, but I'm kind of out, so I'm gonna try and make it work. Where is it at? But I usually just go in with a little bit right here in my nose, right here, just to like help with the crease, because I really crease in my nose right there. So the Pat McGrath, I went in with the color M15 of what I had left. So next what I'm going to do is, while I let that sit, because I let it sit for a very little bit, I'm going to let that sit, and I go in with my contouring concealer. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish in the color Deep Cinnamon. I really like it. I usually go in with my Morphe brush. Y'all, don't even ask, I broke it. I don't even know how. Oh, I knelt on it on accident. But so what I usually do is I'll take it and I'll like get the excess off the edges, because I don't want to use too much, and I'll go in at the very top of my cheeks and I'll just draw a line like that. And then I'll also do it on the other side right under my concealer, and then I'll do it on my cheekbones right here, just like so. And that's really all I do. So next what we're gonna do is go in and hurry, because I feel like this camo concealer dries very fast. So with my brush, I just kind of like airbrush and dust my cheeks to kind of give it that like chiseled look. I don't know, you can kind of tell a little bit. I can kind of tell, and it just gives it that shadow effect. But you want to make sure that you really like blend, because you don't want it to just be sitting there. So sometimes after I blend with the brush, I'll go in and then go back with my sponge and kind of like clean up any harsh lines. Like I said, I ain't no makeup artist, so I don't know everything. I'm literally just telling y'all what works for me. So if you don't like it, baby, there's the door. Contour up here, and I'm gonna bring it all the way up. So with my contour, I bring it all the way up because that's just what I do, and I feel like it gives me that chisel effect on my cheekbones. And I don't mind if it goes into my concealer, because my concealer is gonna fix it anyway, or I'll fix it whenever I'm ready. Okay, so boom, the contour is now contoured. Okay, looks pretty good to me. Like I said, I have so many camo concealer sponges. This is the one for the powder, the clean one, and then this is the one for my concealer. So what I'll do is dry. I just use it dry. I'll go in and just like tap in the concealer. And that's literally what I do. I just go in and tap it in. Don't be afraid. It really does not hurt. Just don't be afraid to go in under your eyes, and that's really how you're going to get that lifted effect. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just lift it all the way up to kind of give my eye that lifted effect. And make sure I do my nose, because I feel like that kind of like helps my nose on the sides. It's already looking so good. I'm looking very much snatched, and don't worry, all these harsh lines and stuff like that is going to get fixed in due time. So now that I've done all that, what I'm going to go do is, with the sponge, a little bit left of foundation and everything, and the wetness, I'm just going to go in and kind of like tap to try to like blend everything. So yeah, now that everything is very much blended, I'm going to go in back with my Laura Mercier powder. And I'm just going to take a little bit and pour it into the lid It's a very little bit, so very little bit. I'm just going to pour it in the lid. I'm going to go in with my foundation sponge, or I'll go in with the concealer sponge. It really doesn't matter, the dry one with nothing on it. I'll go in, tap a little bit, make sure it's not too much on there, and I go in and just dab it into my concealer. When you dab it in, that gives it that very matte finish and like really helps with the creasing, because I crease under my eyes a lot. So I make sure that I put enough in the areas that I crease so that I will not crease. Okay, well, everywhere that I put concealer, that's what I'm gonna do, especially on my chin. I don't really need any on my forehead, but I'm just gonna add a little bit just to help it. So I know y'all see I'm looking like Casper the Ghost. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go in with my brush. This is from Real Techniques, but it's the Rebel Edge Broad brush, and I'm just gonna usually go in and just like brush away the rest of the powder that's left over. Actually, wait, hold up. So after I do that, I'm gonna set the rest of my face. Okay, so with the rest of my face, I'm gonna use this Too Faced Born This Way powder. It's the multi-use complexion powder in the color Warm Sand, and I kind of use that to just like set the rest of my foundation. Lightly dust brush and just go around the rest of my foundation and just set it with this powder. And I feel like that's really gonna set everything, make everything come together. Okay, y'all, so now that the face is looking clean and kept, now we're gonna go in with my second favorite part, blush and highlight. Y'all, this is a fun fact. When I was in high school, before I started wearing like for real makeup, all I would wear was highlight. I know this is like a joke. Well, it's not a joke, it's real life, but it sounds like a joke. But I would literally go to school with just highlight on my fucking cheeks. I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Cream Blush bag. This Cream Cheeks Out Rose Latte number 10. It's literally amazing, y'all. Let me show y'all the color. But look how nice this is. I really do love a pink blush, but nothing gets me more than a nice red blush. Like, I love a nice red like rose cheek blush. So with this, I'm gonna go in with my Morphe E48 brush. It's kind of like a highlight brush is what I use for my highlight, my blush. I use the same brush. So I'm literally, don't get too much. Like literally, you're good with like 1, 2, like that's it. Because sometimes when I be doing too much, I'm gonna have a whole Crayola color on my cheek. So I did that 1, 2, and I'm just gonna go in above my cheeks and kind of just like rose it up, which you can kind of see some highlight because that's the highlight from the last time. And I'll get a little bit more and I'll just like slowly add on to my cheeks. I can't get enough of it. Now you see. Next, I'm gonna go in with my highlighter. Y'all, this highlighter is also very pigmented. I got this from my local beauty supply store. It's called You Glow Girl Baked Highlight YGG 102 in the color Twilight. Y'all, I got this literally at the beauty supply store, so you can try and catch it if you need. So I'm just gonna, like I said, just like the blush, I'm gonna swipe very lightly. Okay, I know y'all seen that. So what I'm gonna do is kind of like blow a little bit off and go right on top of the blush. Do you see how that gave it that very like glowy look? It's giving everything that needs to be gave, honey. Add a little bit to my chin because I like to add highlight to my chin. So remember at the beginning of the video whenever I told you about my brows, honey, and how I don't really like that super cut look on the front of my brows? Of course my mom called me, but like I said, I just go in, like I said at the beginning, I go in and kind of just comb up the brow so I can kind of get rid of that harsh line at the front, because I really love natural brows. So just like that, and it kind of got rid of that line in the front. Babe, look at the, hold on y'all, I forgot the lips. Let me show y'all my go-to lip combo, and then we gonna be done. Okay, y'all, I'm about to show y'all my OG lip combination. Okay, look how, bitch, you can't tell me shit about this face. Anyway, let me show y'all my fucking lip combination. So for the lip combination, it's all zoomed in for us. We're gonna go in with the MAC, you heard me, the MAC Photo lipstick, in the color is brown. We're gonna use the NYX Soft Matte in the color Cairo, and we're also gonna use the, I don't even know who this is. It's like an off-brand lip pencil, like I said, from my local beauty supply store, in the color 19. Oh shit, no. In the color, it's brown. It's just regular brown. First, I'm gonna go in and outline the lips. And honestly, mind your business if you see lip hair, because bitch, no, I did not shave my lips. Okay, so now that the lips are lined, babe, and we're looking like 90s, our mama from the 90s, we're gonna go in with the lip combo. I mean, with the lipstick, and yeah, I'm just gonna go in and fill it in. To finish off the lips, I'm just gonna go in with the like I said, the NYX Matte Soft Matte in the color Cairo, and I'm literally just gonna go in and add some on the lips like that and buff it out, which sometimes it doesn't give me a light enough color, so if it doesn't, I'll show y'all what I go ahead and add. Yeah, it's not giving what I needed for it to give, so we're gonna go in. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but we're gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. Yes, I did say concealer. So what we're gonna do is very little bit of concealer. You're gonna just pop that on your lips and just now she's giving what I wanted. And to go in and like fix out the lines, I just go back in with the pencil and outline it. Just like that. And that's literally my go-to lip combo. Like, for real, for real. That easy. And if you want it to be matte, you can wait for it to dry. If you want it to be glossy, then you can go in and add your favorite lip gloss. Okay, y'all, so I almost forgot to tell y'all how to finish off your look. So everybody knows to finish off your makeup, you need that really good setting spray. As of now, my favorite go-to setting spray is the Morphe setting spray. I'm just going to take my makeup, spray my setting spray. Ooh. And then I'm just going to go in with my handy dandy fan and dry off my face. Okay, K-Baes, well, this is pretty much the finished look. I really hope that y'all liked this video. I hope that y'all found it helpful. I really enjoyed doing this video. I haven't done a makeup video in so long. If you have any questions, put it down in the description box. All the items used will be down in the description box. I mean, put it in the comments if you have questions. The makeup will be in the description box. So yeah, without further ado, I really hope that y'all like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, K-Baes.